Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Farida Hana binti Abdul Hamid. My metric number is 261943. Today, our group will be presenting about the cybersecurity in Malaysia. First and foremost, we need to understand what is cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is the practice of defending computers, servers, mobile devices, electronic systems, networks, and data from malicious attacks. It is also known as information technology security or electronic information security. The term applies in a variety of contexts from business to mobile computing and can be divided into few common categories. Digital data and operations are already at the core of most modern organizations, and this trend is only increasing. But with this reliance on computerized system comes a variety of cyber threats. These risks may be internal, originating with employees and contractors. They may also be external, the result of activity by cybercriminals or even own customers. They may be deliberate acts of data theft or disruption, or they may simply be caused by human error or negligence. No matter where or why a cyber threat originates, it has the potential to be devastating to companies, their employees, and their customers. That's why it is important to understand cybersecurity practices and tactics for effectively defending against hazards in the digital world. So, let's move on to the importance of cybersecurity. Today's organization face critical challenges with respect to cybersecurity. Data creation, processing, and storage is increasingly done at the edge, growing operational complexity and making data flows harder to track. Meanwhile, ever greater computing power and AI, artificial intelligence, are widely accessible, allowing cybercriminals to target businesses more effectively than ever before. And these criminals are highly motivated, driven by the prospect of multi-million dollars rewards from businesses that often can't afford not to pay for the restoration of services or recovery of lost data. While cybersecurity often involves digital protective measures such as antivirus software and user privilege limitations, there are also physical and offline components that can help ensure complete protection against a variety of threats. For example, the first one is application security, which is preventing data and code in business critical software, both in use and in development, from being stolen or hijacked, such as with penetration testing and encryption. Second is the information security, which is protecting physical and digital data from unauthorized access and manipulation, both on-site and through remote systems. The third one is the infrastructure security. Infrastructure security, ensuring that the structures and facilities you rely on, such as electrical grids and data centers, are access controlled and guarded against physical harm or disruption. The fourth one is network security. Network security, securing internal networks against unauthorized access with tools like remote access management and two-factor authentication. It is the practice of securing a computer network from intruders, whether targeted attackers or opportunistic malware. Fifth security is the operational security, which includes the processes and decisions for handling and protecting data assets. The permission user have when accessing a network and the procedures that determine how and where data may be stored or shared are all fall under this umbrella. And the last one is the user education. These are the example of the cybercrime statistic by offenses in year 2018 and 2019. This data is gained from the National Cybersecurity Agency, and as we can see from the graph, telecommunication fraud leads to up to 6,000 cases in 2018. And the second highest fraud is the e-commerce fraud, which is the online purchases where customers being cheated or having problem with the online transaction. Therefore, cybersecurity is important in order to protect customers' data in order to reduce the cybercrime statistic. Next, my friend will discuss about the types of cybercrime in Malaysia.
My name is Nushaira binti Asharani, and now we will see some types of cybersecurity threats. The first one is ransomware attacks. Ransomware attacks involving hacking into the user's data and preventing them from accessing it until the ransom amount is paid. Ransomware attacks are critical for individuals, users, but more so for business who can't access the data for running their daily operations. However, with most ransomware attacks, the attackers don't release the data even after the payment is made and instead try to extort more money. The next one is IoT attacks. IoT devices are computing, digital and mechanical devices that can autonomously transmit data over a network. Attacking IoT device can result in the compromise of sensitive user data. Safeguarding IoT device is one of the biggest challenges in cybersecurity, as gaining access to this device can open the doors of the malicious attacks. The next one is cloud attacks. Hacking cloud platform to steal user data is one of the challenges in cybersecurity for business. We are all aware of the infamous iCloud hack, which exposed private photos of celebrities. If such an attack is carried out on the enterprise data, it could pose a massive threat to the organization and maybe even lead to its collapse. The next one is phishing attacks. Type of social engineering attacks often used to steal user data including login credentials and credit card numbers. Phishing attacks are prevalent among hackers as they can exploit the user's data until the users find out about it. The next one is blockchain and cryptocurrency attacks. Might not mean much to the average internet users, these technologies are a huge deal for business. These technologies have surpassed their infancy stage but have yet not reached an advanced secure stage. The next one is software vulnerabilities. Individuals and enterprise doesn't usually update the software on this device as they find it unnecessary. Updating your device software with the latest version should be a top priority. An older software version might contain patches for security vulnerabilities that are fixed by the developers in the newer version. The next one is machine learning and AI attacks. These technologies can be exploited by unlawful individuals to carry out cyber attacks and pose threats to business. This technology can be used to identify high-value targets among a large datasets. The next one is beyond policies or board your own device policies. If the device is running an outdated or pirated version of the software, it is already an excellent medium to hackers to access. This device make it easier to access your private network if their security is compromised. The last one is insider attacks. Employees with malicious intent can leak or export confidential data to competitors or other individuals. These channels of computer security can be negated by monitoring the data in the inbound and outbound network traffic. Okay, so that are 9 types of cybersecurity tricks. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good day everyone. So I will continue our presentation to the ways of preventing cyber attacks. So actually every country have their own level of cyber security. Depends on the country's technology and focus on the cyber warfare. So there are a few ways of preventing from cyber attacks. Cyber threats then one of the biggest issues facing business and individuals alike. And also cybersecurity is concerned with defending network systems, applications against these threats. But it's important to note that the cybersecurity is not the same thing as data protection. So data is now the world's most valuable resource. So it's at the core of business operation, and data volumes in need of protection are growing at explosive rates. So cybersecurity helps protect the system that make it possible to generate, manage, store, and transfer data. So it doesn't address the data itself, backups, authentication, masking, or ensure if data is encrypted, altered, or deleted. A standalone cybersecurity solution can't do much to help to restore it in a timely fashion. So the establishment of, for Malaysia, the establishment of National Cyber Security Agency, which is also named as NACSA, so further reaffirms the growing importance of cyber issues to Malaysia's national security. So NACSA was established as a response to the dynamic nature, increasing sophistication, global nature, and heightening socio-economic impact of cybersecurity threats. So furthermore, a national policy and procedure in managing cyber crisis has been formulated to ensure that the cyber attacks and cyber incidents are being managed proactively through a coordinated approach at the national level. So the initiative is closely guided by the National Security Council's Directive Number 24, which is policy and mechanism of national cyber. So there are two, which is Computer Emergency Response Team, which is also known as CERT, CERT. Cybersecurity protection is a cybersecurity protection mechanism, response, communication, and coordination procedures, and a readiness program. Meanwhile, the other one, which is National Cyber Coordination and Command Center, which is also known as NC4. So NC4 is a center that deals with cyber threats and crises at the national level. So, for conclusion, Malaysia is committed to providing a cyberspace that is secure, trusted, and resilient, and also encourage economic prosperity and support social well-being. We are confident that this can be accomplished by strengthening our capabilities to predict, detect, deter, and respond to cyber threats. So in the face of constantly changing cyber threats, Malaysia needs to be prepared more than ever, so to protect national security and sovereignty. So NASCA will play a part in providing cybersecurity guidance and coordination while keeping pace with existing and emerging cyber threats and the development of new technologies. So NASCA will also provide advice on the risks and the action necessary to mitigate them. So this is why it is important to have a high level of cybersecurity, because nowadays there are a lot of cyber warfare. So to be prepared, Malaysia need to improve and day by day improving and develop new technology to protect our cybersecurity. So that's all. Thank you.